So I just got done with my 5th day of training, and now I have 2 more days, and then it'll my work will kind of peter out. I think to like 2 or 3 days a week for a couple weeks until they start cycling me onto the floor. They have me doing like to-go orders and to-go orders for a little bit, which I'm stoked about. I get to just chill before I start kind of slowly working. And I also told my managers that I want to, they do start putting me at a regular into the regular schedule, I only want 4 days a week. And I said I just want 3 weekdays off, ideally 3 in a row, but it doesn't have to be. And so that's good. That was kind of on my mind. That was getting closer to the date where I felt like I needed to remind them, because I told them when I interviewed, and I just wanted to remind them again. And then in another couple weeks before they put out the next schedule, or in a couple weeks when they get to the following week's schedule, I'll remind them one last time. I'm glad that I have just been chilling, because it's definitely tiring. I'm noticing like midday, my brain's just done. Like by 11, 12, my brain is like, there's just so much information that it's like, it just gets so tired. I also think I need to eat. I have a shake, but I bought Cliff Bars today, so I'm going to start having the Cliff Bar and a shake just to get me through the shift. I like it there. The people are cool. The managers are cool. It's like any other restaurant, it has its own problems, but I don't really care about the problems. Every restaurant has problems. It seems like it's a good place to work, so I'm pretty stoked. That's pretty much it for work. I'm getting to the point now where I'm feeling really ready to start training MMA. I've been looking at this gym called Extreme Couture. I know in the past I was thinking about Syndicate, but their wrestling class gets off really late in the evening. It gets off around like 8:30, I think. Yeah, the wrestling class starts at 7:30. So it might even get off at 9, like 8:30 or 9, and that's just too late for when I'm getting up at 6. I'd go home and just try and rush to sleep. So as much as I want to take that wrestling program, it doesn't really fit with my schedule. But the Extreme Couture fits really well, and they offer so much. I'm looking at taking boxing, Muay Thai. They have wrestling, and then no-gi jiu-jitsu. So I love jiu-jitsu, and I'm excited to, I think like taking this time away from it, it's making me really appreciate it even more. I feel more ready to go back than before. But I'm excited to just learn a more well-rounded approach to everything, like learning a little bit of everything. And then, I think I kind of felt like filming this video because now this year is coming to an end. And normally I do like a little review thing where I'll like write in a journal. My mom showed me this when I was younger, and I've usually done it every year where I write in the journal the past year, and then I look into the future, and I'd figure I'd kind of just like do that in video form. This year was really a lot of change and a lot of good growth. Like January, I was working at a bar. The hours were late. Just not worked out. 2 months later, I was working at another place for like 3 or 4 months. And then I kind of hit this wall where I felt like I needed to leave Flag. I left Flagstaff. I took like a month off before leaving, which was nice. I just chilled. Therapy, I did a lot of the good therapy this year, which helped a lot. And then Peru and the ayahuasca was amazing. And then moving to Vegas, I felt like it was going to be more temporary being here, but now that I'm seeing what it has to offer, I see myself staying here for a little bit. I don't know how long, but I don't really feel that compelled to leave. And I found a job that has a seemingly really good schedule. And as long as I make decent money and I'm saving a little bit each month, and I get to train martial arts to the degree that I want to, and then everything else that I want to do, I want to go to therapy. I'm like going to wait I'm going to add this in later once I balance in the martial arts to my work schedule. Once that's all kind of doing its thing, then I'll add in the other stuff. But I want to add in some therapy, and then I want to add in some volunteering. I think both those things are. I also want to like learn an instrument. There's so much I want to do, but it's just difficult to do it all. So I'm just gonna not think that far ahead. Um, but definitely the therapy and the volunteering is something I'm gonna add. I feel like there was a lot of growth this year, and it was kind of trippy. I was thinking about this when I was last in Vegas, like 4 years ago, I think. I went through a ton of growth at that time, where I really rethought a lot about the way I am and who I want to be. And I remember it was like this, it was like the start, like in high school, I was always trying to navigate my way, but I didn't know what I was trying to do. I was just trying to feel better. And then when I was in Vegas, I realized that I wanted to be better. There was like this shift that I made. And I was listening to a lot of Jordan Peterson at the time, and like a lot of what he said just resonated and clicked. And I started just like, I just made a shift. I felt like I went from like a kid thinking that I can't do anything wrong, that I know everything, to just switching and being like, oh, I don't know shit, and I need to know shit. I need to be good to people. I need to be responsible. And then it just like kept growing. And the past 4 years have just been continuing that whole process. And now that I'm back, it's trippy because it was right after I did ayahuasca, and I feel like I went through another massive change. Maybe not in personality, but it feels like a lot of the way that I think about the world and the way that I think about myself has changed drastically, all for the better. And I definitely feel unstuck. I felt kind of like I was stuck in Flagstaff, like I kind of hit a wall, and I don't feel that anymore. So this year's been good. I'm stoked about it. And part of me doesn't even feel like it's that significant, like going into the new year. Because, like, I think a lot of the time people will think of New Year's as like, this is when I'm going to start all this new stuff. And it doesn't feel that significant to me because I'm constantly doing that. Like, I've constantly been trying to grow. And so it almost feels like everything's just bleeding over, like it's not even like significant in the way that it's felt like in the past. Like in the past I've been like, all right, I'm gonna get my shit together, but now it's like, no, everything's like put together, my life is good. I just need to keep doing this like endless process. And I found that like I feel like a large part of life is this like kind of feedback loop where I'm trying to constantly improve my life. And that involves going inside of myself, thinking about what it is that I want to change or improve, and then going out of myself into the world and doing that. And then what happens is I see how that works, how I feel doing that. Is this what I really want? And if it is, great, I leave it. But if it's not, then I kind of tweak it and try again. I feel like that process is something that I'm really starting to just get down. Like it feels like it's something that's just habitual now. It's like a habit. Like if I feel like, for instance, like with my dad, like me being upset at him or like us getting in an argument, there's this habit that's been like just, it's like a neural pathway that's just been used so much that it's like I don't even have to try anymore. It just happens, where I think about what it is I need to do to grow from this, or what can I learn from this. And not even exactly like, I don't really ask myself that. That's just kind of what naturally is happening now. Because that was like my mantra. I'd say like it really started becoming something that I really realized was powerful maybe like a year and a half ago, where I realized like, oh, that is something to live by, is how can I learn and grow from any situation, whether it's good or bad, not good or bad, but whether it's something that I perceived as challenging or difficult, or uncomfortable or something that like I had a lot of joy from. Like if I competed and I won, I can still apply like how can I grow from this? How can I learn? And so I noticed like with stuff like what I just said with my dad, if I feel bad, like something happened that made me feel bad, instead of externalizing it and making it like, oh, my dad's an asshole, he did this, he did that, even though I feel that way, I go inward and I'm like, okay, what is it that I need to do differently? Like why, what am I doing on my end that caused this friction? So I'm really stoked about that. I feel like, I don't know, I'm really happy with the way I am and how everything's going. And I'm stoked to just see where everything goes. I'm really excited. I feel like this year I'm really gonna like devote a lot of time to martial arts. I can like feel it now. Everything else too. It's got to be balanced. I can't overtrain, but I'm really excited to learn MMA. It's something that I really want to do. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm not thinking like too far into the future. I'm just kind of taking it a little bit at a time. I think in general, it's like save money, try and make more than what I spend each month, obviously. So that the way that I'm living my life, I can at least be putting something into savings so that it'll just build. Continue to learn MMA and just enjoy life. I'm gonna like definitely take advantage of the nature here. Go to the hot springs, Mount Charleston, Red Rock. There's a bunch of cool places. So yeah, that's it. I took yesterday off, and I'm taking today off from working out. I think my body just needs a little bit of rest. I woke up pretty tired today. So yeah, I love all you guys. I know not a lot of people watch, but all my close friends that watch, I really appreciate it. The other day, Leon commented, and it really means a lot. I think I'm doing this just because it's something that's easy to do, but I do hope that this makes the world better, even if it's just a tiny little bit. I think just talking about what's going on in my life and sharing who I am has a net positive effect on the world, because that's something that I really want to focus on, is making the people around me feel better, and then, I don't know, just doing stuff that's better. Like when I'm training MMA, I want to be the type of training partner that people want to train with because they enjoy training with me. I want to be the type of person that when people see at work, they're like happy to see me. And I want to be really good to my parents. I want to just love them and be the best son that I can. And be the best friend that I can to all my friends. And then just like continue to pour love into myself. I think all of that stuff is really meaningful. And continue to learn. I have books that I'm reading still. Continue to like learn about stuff and continue to grow and expand my ideas about the world and myself. I think I'm going to definitely go back and do ayahuasca at some point in the future. Maybe the near future, like within like a 5-year time span, within 5 years from any time now to 5 years. Because I feel like it's such a powerful tool. It's not like you need it. This is stuff you can do on your own, but just to go back to that like source of whatever that was over the span of your life, I think would probably be wise. So yeah, that's it. Happy New Year.